Stop me if you heard this one. Jesus Christ walks into a hotel. Ow. He hands the innkeeper 3 nails and he asks, "Can you put me up for the night?" Oh, God. Look what you've done to my sheets.
That's worse.
What are you trying to do?
I don't know. Katrina Porter!
Scratch that. Welcome, Mona Serene.
Hey, you know what we should do?
What?
A podcast.
Let's do it.
We're here.
We're here.
Let's call it Split Happens.
Okay. It's all right.
It's a working title.
You know what? It's got legs.
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome, everybody.
We're here because we love talking about our favorite movies, often to no end. But we do have a tough time finding any fault in them because we love them. Mm-hmm. So we created this podcast so we can discuss the movies we cherish. To give ourselves a challenge, we thought that each episode, one of us could get to be the pro and defend the movie while the other has to take the con and attack it. I am going to defend this movie today, and I am crazy excited because it's going to be a breeze.
Oh, and I am going to peck the life out of this movie like a rabid crow. And I am not excited about it.
Aw, you look so sad.
Well, yeah, because the movie we're doing is 1994's The Crow, and this movie's so good.
My God, it's good.
It's good. Yeah. When I was doing my notes for this movie, I was like, I wanted to be like, Brandon Lee.
Yeah.
Next level snack.
Yeah.
Died.
Yeah.
It's all you can think about during this movie. What else do I have to say?
I'm actually really glad that you brought that up because I feel like him dying obviously is it's a big part of the movie, but it's kind of a bit of a cloud that hangs over the movie itself. Makes it a little bit more macabre.
Yeah, your first section of our notes is he dead.
Yeah, it is. I meant Eric Draven.
Oh, okay.
Future The Crow. So let's just go ahead and get out what happened with Brandon Crow.
Brandon Crow?
Oh, shit.
Wait, let's go ahead and get out. Let's get out what happened.
Let's get out some details.
Okay, let's get out some details about what happened before we started recording this podcast today.
We love margaritas.
And we love Acapulco restaurant.
Acapulco!
Because it's 2 days after Christmas, we're like, let's go get some margaritas before we do this shit.
You know, it's worked for us in the past. And I say, if it ain't broke, drink margaritas.
Yeah, except we if we hadn't escaped, we could have gotten murdered tonight.
Dude,
yeah.
What was with that guy?
You mean Michael Allen Stabby Face?
It's official.
It's official. He's got 3 names.
Holy shit. He really looked like he wanted to wear your skin.
Yeah, I needed a crow. I was like, where's my crow?
For sure.
Yeah. But aside from that.
You're not great with puns, though. If I'm not going to be. I mean,
I'm
being like, you're brilliant with many, many things. You need to be better with puns if you're going to be the crow.
Okay.
With capital T, capital C.
Okay. All right.
But you're going to need something because that guy is definitely a serial killer.
Yeah.
And you were in his scope.
I wasn't. I did not manage my face at all.
No, you did not. I was like, are you insane? Are you trying to get murdered?
I was like, what is the deal with this guy?
Why is he
David
Allen?
With my tequila buzz?
David Allen Stabby?
Michael Allen Stabby. Jesus,
Stabby.
give him some respect.
I put some respect on that name.
Right.
Well, let's at least talk about, give some details about The Crow. It was 1994.
Okay.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Uh-huh. Except it was a long time ago.
This came out in like March or May, or it came out in the beginning part of the year, which is funny because that's about when The Ref came out too.
Yeah.
This didn't make a whole lot of money. Oops.
Did you spit at me?
I'm sorry. Apologies. Apologies for that.
You know what, people? Because we make great decisions. We
Yeah.
went and had tequila before this, and we're like, water? Some water with this? Nah.
I like that he asked us if we want water, and just out of like obligation, we're like, yes, of course we want water.
Obviously, I'm a grown up. I drink water.
Yes, obviously. Leave the straw.
I was talking about when we got home and had the chance to make another good decision. We're like, water? No.
You mean when we went to the studio?
When we went to our studio. You guys, I'll put a picture of it. This year, for Chris, every year, Anna gives me the best presents. It's a true story. Every year. And she stresses about it like a weirdo.
Every time.
This year, she gave me the coolest on-air, like vintage kind of radio on air. It is so, I'm looking at it right now and it makes me feel so professional.
Oh man, if I had tear ducts still, I would cry.
I'll take a picture of it.
Yeah, put it on Instagram.
I'll put it on Instagram.
Put it on the gram, please.
Anna will take a picture of it because I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
I'll put it on the TikTok.
For 3 days, I put stuff on Instagram and then it showed up on Facebook and I had no idea what was happening.
Ew. Gross.
Okay. Let's get back on track.
Yeah, let's go back to the crow. Let's just go ahead and get the stuff out with Brandon Lee right off the bat, and then we'll get into how the movie was made.
I said he was a snack.
Yes. No, well, there's more to it than that.
Oh.
The scene in which Brandon Lee was killed. From what I read, it was supposed to be really, really simple. Okay, so this was during a flashback. It was when he was killed. His character is killed with his girlfriend, fiance, I guess.
That's when he died?
Yes.
I thought it was the scene where he's on the table.
Right. That was the rumor that had gone around because of it, but no.
I didn't know that.
No. So it was during the flashback scene, which actually wasn't even supposed to happen. Like, it was just, everything was just very unfortunate happenstance. But the director wanted Lee to walk through the doorway, kind of carrying a grocery bag. His co-star, it's Michael Massey. He's played Fun Boy. The plan was that he would fire blanks at him from like 15 feet away. And then Brandon would flip a switch that was in the bags, the grocery bags, that would activate. They're called squibs. And they're just like little small fireworks. They're used all the time on sets. And that would simulate like bloody bullet wounds.
Ooh.
Right. They had tried it multiple times before. It wasn't, it should have been fine. The gun had been made specifically by the props team to simulate realistic bullets, but unfortunately, it was loaded with a dummy bullet from a previous scene. It was only supposed to fire blanks, but that dummy bullet had become lodged inside without anybody noticing. The force from which it was unlodged was comparable to like a real bullet.
So it was one bullet that killed him?
It was. So so normally it would just be blanks, but what had happened was a prop guy had gone down to like a local prop shop to buy stuff for production, and he purchased a set of live bullets. And he took back to the set because they're supposed to never be kept on set. The film's prop master kind of removed them and stored them in the trunk of his car. During a scene, like a totally different scene in which a victim looks down the barrel of a gun being loaded, it was discovered that there were no blanks on set. So they were trying to save time. So the prop guys took the live bullets from the car and modified them into blanks, creating dummy rounds, which didn't have the gunpowder but kept the lead tip to be used like for close-ups, but they just didn't realize that when the dummy round was loaded into the gun for that shot, the lead tip got lodged in the barrel.
Oh, geez.
So then it was used for that scene where like Fun Boy was supposed to just shoot him, and unfortunately that guy, he's the one that shot Brandon Lee.
Oh, man.
And it was kind of devastating to him. He really, really struggled with it. He quit acting for like at least a year, and he like relapsed into a pretty nasty addiction. So they actually didn't even realize that he had died at first because he was supposed to, I can't remember if he was supposed to go backwards and he actually went forwards or the other way around, but he collapsed and they were like, well, he's just still in the scene. So it was a while. So then they realized something had gone terribly wrong and they rushed him, and he fought for quite some time.
God, it's heartbreaking.
What's really tragic, Brandon Lee's character, Eric Draven, is supposed to marry his fiancée, Shelley, the next day. And that's when they're killed. Brandon Lee was supposed to get married 2 weeks after this.
Oh my! And didn't he have a kid or?
He did not have a kid.
Oh, he didn't.
I don't think so.
I might have made that up.
I mean, Bruce Lee died really.
I know.
Fucked up how he died too. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of rumoring going around when Bruce Lee died that it was actually the Chinese mafia that had killed him. It didn't happen. Sometimes just tragedies happen. The same type of rumoring went around on this. Having said that, we're going to get that out of the way, and just so that that cloud isn't kind of hanging over the movie. All the respect to Brandon Lee and his family. It's really, really, really sad. And we're going to pay homage to the movie the best we can. Okay. So anyway,
I felt like when I was thinking about how am I going to do my notes for this movie and make it negative.
yeah.
I was like, I wrote down, like I said earlier, Brandon Lee, next level snack.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like kind of staring at my notes, and I felt like David when he goes to see Ted at the vet, like, and then he eats the cooked dog treat, like,
That's a dog treat? Looks like a real treat. What am I gonna do now?
It is such a good movie.
it is. But I got some notes.
Oh boy. I can't wait to hear what kind of garbage you come up with.
You know what? It's such garbage. But I'm in it now.
Yeah. Commit.
I am.
That's what Brandon would have wanted.
I'll do anything he wants.
Okay, well, let's talk about The Crow. It was made in 1994. It was a sleeper hit. It didn't make a lot like immediately out of the jump, but it's kind of stayed around for long enough that it pretty quickly gained a following and actually did pretty damn well overall.
Which is pretty good considering, as I've said before, because we've done 1994 movies.
Yeah.
Lion King came out, Speed came out, Interview with the Vampire came out.
Forrest Gump
came out.
that
Lots of
one.
movies, lots of great movies.
94 was a really, really good year for movies.
But also Santa Claus.
Oh,
Boo.
gross.
Fuck you, Tim
We're
Allen.
not bringing Tim Allen to this. Don't you dare disparage the good name of Brandon Lee by bringing Tim Allen into this.
Just hearing the name Brandon Lee makes me smile.
Nom, 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 nom. So the director was Alex Proyas. He had done one movie, but it was insignificant, honestly. For all intents and purposes, this was his first movie.
Okay.
He was a music video director. It actually went through multiple script changes and stuff like that. This came from a comic book, which I actually just read, the Crow comic by James O'Barr. And actually, what's kind of crazy is he wrote The Crow because his girlfriend had just been killed by a drunk driver.
Oh my.
So this was kind of his way to get over that,
Oh wow.
to kind of get through that. And it is a little bit different. The comic is from the movie, but not that much. He was a little bit concerned about Brandon Lee being cast. He didn't want him to be a rock star. He had, in the comic, he has a heroin addiction. Right. I mean,
I'm sorry. They wanted an everyday guy, and they cast Brandon Lee.
he didn't want Brandon Lee. He wanted somebody else. But if you look at the comic, it makes perfect sense. He's a fantastic casting for it.
Everything makes sense about him being cast.
They talked. Christian Slater really wanted the role.
You know, I had a big old lady boner for Christian Slater, and I could not see him in this movie.
He came very close to it, but he wanted too much money.
Oh, Christian.
Oh no, I get it. They talked about Johnny Depp, but he turned it down.
Oh, Johnny.
I know, but it worked. James O'Barr, the writer of The Crow, he met with Brandon Lee, and he was like, "Nope, this one's great." He said, like the level of physicality and charisma he brought was just amazing. He said he just not a lot of people realized how hard he worked. He did all of his own fight choreography. He did as many stunts as he could that his production company would allow. So he was just, they wouldn't let him like fall off buildings, but I think if he could, he would have. And they wanted like humor and pain and menace, and he kind of had all of that. So, like I said, it was kind of plagued with problems from the beginning. A carpenter suffered severe burns when his crane hit a power line.
Oh, my.
A disgruntled crew member drove his car into the back of the studio lot. And then there was also the storm of the century that swept through North Carolina during that time is March 13th.
Oh, weird.
And it destroyed the exterior sets. There's all kinds of production notes that go into it. I already said that Alex Proyas was the director. Eric Draven is played by Brendan Lee. Top Dollar, who they actually never say his name in the movie. That's the main bad guy, by the way.
His name is Top Dollar?
That's his name.
Yeah, I've got that as my note. What kind of stupid name is Top Dollar?
Right. They don't even mention it in the movie. There's several people that they don't even mention in the names.
Stupid name.
But that's his name. It's Michael Wincott. I'll get to him.
Top Dollar. Boom, roasted. Stupid name.
So we'll put all of the info up because I think that's the right thing to do because there is just so much information. But let's just get into the movie.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Well, we begin the night before Halloween, which is Devil's Night, and everything's on fire. We see somewhere in the, the everything's burning city, a broken window and a dead body is being thrown from said window. And a woman is badly injured and she's fighting for her life. And we get police officer Ernie Hudson.
The cops are just like casually standing around talking about this crime.
Yeah.
And you think that they're at an empty crime scene. Nope. Shelley's just laying over there, just gasping for breath.
She really is. Fighting the good fight. She's trying.
They're like, oh, it was somebody's wedding. You think it was the bloody lady over there in the wedding dress hoping to make it down the aisle that clued you in?
There's a dead lady and a dead guy. And the cops say there's 143 fires going down in the city. And good news, that's apparently down from the previous year, which means this happens annually. And you know how much I love traditions.
I know you do.
I do.
I like that they're all just like willy-nilly wandering around the crime scene.
Yeah.
And then they're arguing over her body, whether she should be moved from the crime scene. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I have several degrees. And
you have like 1,000 degrees.
one of them is in criminal justice, and that's not how we learned about preserving a crime scene.
Is it really? Did you learn how to talk in that voice?
Yes, we did. It disarms people immediately. It makes them wonder if they know where they're at and what they're doing, and should they tell the truth or should they lie.
Should you work on that? Because I feel unsettled, not disarmed.
It just comes naturally to us, those in the biz. Going. Let's move on.
Have you happened to notice that I've been like holding onto the table for too long?
Like, why does she have a death grip on her table?
I'm trying to stay up.
Oh no!
I feel like I'm
that
doing
booster
really
seat
well.
is slippery.
I'm reading my notes so well.
This is an audio medium, but I wish you could see how intently you were looking at your notes. This is going to be great. Let's just keep going. Keep it moving.
We're going to keep it in. Oh, God. Back just popped like 20 times. I like barely moved.
And you're old.
Shut up.
Oh, shit. This is going to be like 3 hours.
I want to request your criminal justice voice, like on occasion. Can I have that on demand?
Of course you can.
Okay, good. Not now. Okay, so a crow shows up, and just to avoid confusion, since it's called the Crow, and Eric becomes the Crow, and animal crow. It's actually not even a crow; it's a raven, because crows are like bitchy and they can't act for shit. So it's known. So I guess we'll just call the animal the Crow, but actually him. Eric. Let's call him Eric throughout.
Okay.
It's going to confuse us with our Eric.
I don't get him confused.
Okay, good. Fan. I doubt he would either. Our Eric gets it.
He gets it.
For sure. Okay, so also a teenage girl, Sarah, who knows the victims. Sarah is, a year later, she's visiting the grave sites of Eric Draven, our hero, and his fiancée, Shelley. Sarah skateboards away and meets up with cop Ernie Cop, who is at a hot dog stand. And
whoa.
Yeah.
You ready to get your mind blown?
That sounds dirty, but yeah.
Do you know who the hot dog vendor is?
The hot dog vendor?
Yeah.
Like the guy that's in this for 5 seconds?
Yes.
No, I swear to God, I have no idea.
Seriously?
Yeah, I'm completely serious.
Okay, so when I was watching this to take my notes, I was like, "Boop, who's that? That guy looks familiar." And then I was like, wait a second. Is that drunk Santa from the ref? And it sure is.
No way.
It is. It's drunk Santa from the ref that
Are
we
you
just
serious?
did. Yes. Boom.
Cut to our villains, starting with T-Bird, who is played by David Patrick Kelly. I think most people recognize him from Warriors.
Warriors,
Yes.
come out and play.
Clank, 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 clank. That's me holding the bottles. Clank, 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 clank. It looks very lobster handy.
Again, no one can see what we're doing.
I remember him, and I think you might have this tucked way back in your memory bank from the movie Dreamscape. Do you remember that with Dennis Quaid?
Yeah, no, I remember that movie.
We had it on VHS.
Is that him?
he
The
was
creepy snake guy?
Yes! That's him.
I didn't think I had anything way back in my memory, but I remember that.
Yeah, that one really sticks with you.
If anyone cares, the Dolphins are beating the Saints right now, which is really important because they're a wild
God,
card.
why are you going to bring football into this?
God. Just keep going. I like every time I glance down at my notes, I have littered through Brandon Lee's a next level snack.
Priorities. Yeah, like that's like a chapter guide for you, like a little tab.
Oh, wait, is he still hot? Yes, he's still hot. Okay,
Turns out he's still hot. Eric is digging his way out of his coffin while that crow is looking on, and Eric is really confused and disoriented, and he starts taking off his clothes. Hello.
Okay, wait a minute. Don't get me distracted by the no shirt thing. Do we really think that this crow pecking Eric out of a coffin is really going to be a thing? That's like Shawshank Redemption. Because you'd be like for like 30 years trying to peck him out of this. I mean, come on, that's silly. I know that there's a lot of realistic things to this movie, but that's just silly.
I feel like you're being very obtuse right now. The crow, again, the animal, is leading Eric to where he needs to go, and he leads Eric to his former apartment, and he recognizes his gorgeous white cat, Gabriel.
Ooh, Gabriel makes me think of Prophecy. Pro.
No! No!
Fire it up.
Fuck me, no.
Let's do the prophecy, and I'm the pro.
You are a dirty, skanky whore.
I'm sorry, you had Gabriel in your notes and you didn't think about it, so.
I didn't. Shit! Gotta be quicker than that. Breaking into his apartment triggers the memory of the prior year when T-Bird and his gang broke into Eric's place and tore it up, and they kind of raped and beat Shelley to death.
I thought that whole scene was actually kind of graphic. I didn't.
It's not fun.
No.
It's not fun to watch.
I didn't like that.
And then they RoboCopped Eric out the window.
Yeah, they did.
Can you fly, Bobby?
For no reason. I'm not quite sure why. But, you know.
Jealousy.
Some people just want to watch the world burn. And that world is Detroit.
Yeah, well.
Eric cuts his hand on a swinging jump thing, which is super hot. But he breaks his hand and it immediately heals, thank God. And he learns, and we learn as well, that he's definitely benefited from that coffin coma. And the gang is seen swallowing bullets.
I have in my notes.
Yeah?
What fucking moron thinks swallowing bullets is a good idea?
You know, I'm defending this movie, but my notes say these guys are not just mean and bad, they're also fucking morons.
I mean, well, that's not even tough. You could swallow anything.
Hello. We're going to cut back to Eric, and he's crying. And it's fine because it is okay for men to cry.
He looks so good when he's
For Christ's sakes. Aren't you supposed to be attacking this movie?
What a loser.
He has a mime like Harlequin theater mask thingy.
Does he just... Okay, this is silly though. He just happens to have all this clown makeup laying around.
Yeah. He's an artist. He's a musician. You know how musicians are. They're crazy.
So they just rip off Kiss? That's what you're saying this band does? They just happen to have all this makeup laying around?
Yeah.
That was kind of silly.
It was the 90s. Yeah, he chose this moment to put on his costume makeup. It was the 90s, and the stupid shit we did then was the price we paid for grunge. So,
okay.
It was worth it.
That was silly.
Eric gets his look correct.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Dude.
No.
You are not the pro on this.
No, I know. He looks like a clown.
You don't even believe it.
He looks like a stupid clown.
He looks so cool. Well, he has the crow on his shoulder, and now we have the crow with capital letters, and he looks very mad.
I do think it is kind of stupid that he just happened to have clown makeup laying around, but that's all I'm saying.
Again, 90s. He was in a band.
Okay.
They did that sort of thing.
Okay, I lived in the 90s. I didn't have that shit.
It's because you were a square.
Nah, true.
You're not now. You're great now.
I still don't have clown makeup.
Super cool. Oh, God.
Holy shit.
I'm
your
sorry.
hair is crazy.
Well, this is what happens when you have purple hair and you're not allowed to wash it for 18 days.
I just I can't escape it. I wake up with Ty and he looks like what are those little troll dolls?
Does he really?
Oh, yeah. He's got a little tuft of hair sticking up.
I can't wait to tell him you said that.
He'll hear it. He knows.
Well, Eric looks mad. He looks like I clawed my way out of my own casket and relived my own death through like a waking dream sequence. And I put on some tight black clothes and white makeup so I could revenge kill a bunch of gang members type of mad. And also the Cure is singing. And it is fucking rad.
Of course, the Cure is singing. We need some dark, moody music. Let's get the Cure.
It makes me think of the first season of South Park. Like, Disintegration is the greatest album ever. Gang member Tintin is in a pawn shop and he's selling his stuff. And he calls the shopkeeper a number of insults. But he calls him a saprophyte. And I actually had to look it up because I've never heard that word before.
What does that mean?
It's not nice. It is not nice. It's an organism that feeds off of dead things.
Well, but he also calls him a crackhead, which was a little hypocritical since these guys are hopped up on every chemical known to mankind all the time.
Yeah, they definitely are, including bullets.
9mm bullets.
Who knows what was in those bullets? Well, we learned a few things of this. That Eric has developed some like really serious physical abilities, and he can see through the crow's eyes. And also that Tintin is super stabby, and he is very happy about his job. He loves his job, and it shows.
Have we gotten to the part where that lady is singing the low rent Hole? Low rent Courtney Love from Hole?
That is the band Medicine.
Oh, that's a real band?
Yes.
You like that song?
I not only like that song, I love the soundtrack. And I mean a deep, deep love for that soundtrack. I've listened to it many
I'm super
times.
confused right now. I'm not just being You like that song?
Yes.
That's exactly how it sounds.
I don't have to take you away. Yeah.
See, you're not even trying and you sound better than she does.
Oh, God, I love it.
Wow.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, I just have low rent Hole.
Oh, man. I'm going to tell the members of Medicine, wherever they may be. Like you said, we're at a club, and that's where the gang operates, and Medicine is playing, and it is like obscenely 90s.
Oh, it's 90er than 98 degrees.
90er?
90er.
Boy, I love it. Well, they go up to see the boss, who is Top Dollar, who like I said, they never actually say his name, but it's him he's very briefly in the comic.
But before they go up there, isn't he with his sister? And he's looking at a snow globe of a cemetery. And he's like, Dad gave me this when I was 5 years old.
Yeah, when he's making out with his half-sister.
Yeah.
Mika, played by Bai Ling. Oh, crazy, crazy Bai Ling. That's Michael Wincott that plays the bad guy. And he played the baddie a lot, really well. Everybody probably knows him from Robin Hood. Prince of Thieves.
Of course, yeah.
He usually plays a villain, and he does it really, really, really well. But if you don't want to see him, if you ever want to watch a movie where he's not the baddie, he's in Basquiat, which is a phenomenal movie.
Ooh,
and he is not bad. Now he's really good.
Right. That's a good movie.
Yeah, it is.
And sad.
Bai Ling and Top Dollar just...
the sibling relationship is really gross. And argue with
they're
that.
Friendly. Well, she's like the soothsayer in this.
Did you see the gigantic bowl of Coke?
Yeah.
In the gigantic bowls of Coke, they're like, is that like they had a sale at Home Goods on gigantic bowls of Coke? They're like, we really need to fill the scene here. We got 7 gigantic bowls of Coke that we can just lay around. I put M&Ms and cashews around the house.
Oh, do you have any M&Ms and cashews right now?
Ernie is not a great cop. And it's funny because it's one of those things where, like, in a cop movie where he's the good guy and he gets demoted, you're like, he clearly shouldn't have been demoted, except for this movie, you're like, checks out.
You think he should have been demoted?
He's not good at this. Letting literally everyone that he comes in contact with just scurry away.
Or die.
Right, there they go again. I have no idea what happened.
They either die or escape. And that's the Ernie Cop promise. We skip over to Top Dollar and his sister Mika, and they're sitting on a gigantic table with a mountain of Coke and a goblet for burning eyeballs. And I'm no psychologist, but I think they might have an unhealthy relationship.
Listen. This isn't a 3-parter. We don't have time to get into the psychological problems between these two people.
Are they going to tongue?
Yes.
Because I'm going to vomit. I don't even know how to spin it positively.
Have you watched this movie? Every scene that the two of them are in together is weird.
They make everybody else seem stable.
Yeah, they make Tintin, Skank, and Funboy seem a little less weird.
Yeah.
That's not a defense.
It's really nice of them. That's very sacrificial.
And again, I feel like I must say, it's hysterical how you just let Top Dollar roll. It's Top Dollar and Minka just hanging out, as they do, with a dead hooker next to him.
Burning eyeballs.
Right.
And a goblet.
Big
in
bowl
the
of Coke.
eye-burning goblet. Do they have to clean that, you think?
Yeah, I think these two are real worried about cleanliness.
Do you think that they clean their own eyeball goblet? Or did they have like a person specifically? You don't see like an assistant for Top Dollar and Mika, but you gotta think, oh, what if it was the girl that they had the threesome with and they broke, and she was the one that like does all the cleaning and like getting their coffee and stuff?
No, I bet they're like, we really need something clean. How about Skank come in and do it? Because nothing says clean like Skank.
You don't want Skank doing it. He's a mess.
Well,
he's not cleaning shit. Well, his bodyguard comes in, and his name is Grange.
Oh,
Grange.
you mean black person number 2?
Do you know who it is?
No.
It's Tony Todd, a.k.a. the Candyman.
That movie scared the shit out of me.
Candyman. Wouldn't it be crazy to have like a Candyman versus the... You like this? This hand is the Candyman, and this hand is the crow. And they're gonna have like a vengeful... And they're gonna have a vengeful ghost off.
No.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
No.
That'd be crazy. I'm gonna sell tickets.
Not be here for that at all.
Man, Top Dollar can put away a lot of Coke. I mean, the pile's sitting in front of them, and I get it, because it reminds me of when we were at Acapulco earlier. Yeah. That's exactly how I am with chips and salsa.
Ooh, and queso.
I mean, if it's sitting in front of you.
Yeah, I feel like if a big bowl of Coke was in front of me, I'd still be like, nah, I'm going to go get a marg.
But he likes Coke. We don't like that. But if there's like chips and salsa, we're going to just keep eating it till like a merciful server takes them away. And hopefully also brings margarita with them. Strawberry. Frozen. Please.
Lime.
Por favor.
Gold on the rocks.
Ernie Cop is investigating the murders of Shelley and Eric from the former year, and it's his opportunity to piece together that Eric is the crow and gives us all some exposition. That was nice of him.
Ernie rolls with him being a ghost really well.
Very well.
He's like, okay, I guess. He just does a little doodling on the little picture, and he's like, yeah, fuck it, I guess this guy's a ghost.
Yeah, he's still wearing his hat at home in his boxers. You know,
and Ernie is also terrible about delivering information to people. He's like, when Eric's like, what happened to Shelley? And he's like, man, she died. Oh, we did our best. And
sorry, bro. She was raped and tortured for a super long time. Looked real painful. Anyway, you handling that well?
Yeah, here, put your hands on my head so you can see it all happen.
Oh, that's really important. We'll come back to that.
Can we get to the part where he's just hanging out on the roof playing his guitar without a shirt on?
You know what that reminded me of?
Heaven.
No, because, I mean, like, playing on the rooftop made me think of that Beatles documentary.
Oh.
I know. Let's go ahead and get back to one of the gang members, because Fun Boy is about to have a hard time. Fun Boy, played by Michael Massey. Oh, you might remember. Do you remember? He was in Seven. He's the owner of the club.
He's the owner of the...
Where the guy came in, the sex club, and he's like, people come in with all kinds of weird shit.
People
What do you
bring
want me to do about it?
suitcases full of shit.
You're busting my balls here. It's so accurate. I like that they're shooting up drugs. I don't like that they're shooting up drugs. It's just like in the scene that he and Darla are shooting up drugs, and she's like, "There's a big fucking bird over there." First of all, he shows up with a guitar, and he's like, "Dude!" But he then gives Darla a super effective intervention in the bathroom. You know who the crow or Eric is in this? He's Jeff from Intervention. he's like,
did you? Okay,
he's like, I see a bunch of people just love you like crazy, and they feel like they're losing you.
There's a great documentary. What's that guy's name? Bob.
Yeah, I'm Bob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, he always wears the hat.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There's a great documentary
with the glasses.
Yes, great documentary.
You're kidding?
No.
Huh. So T-Bird and Skank are doing their stupid fire it up bullshit. I mean, it's awesome. Are you checking scores?
I'm looking up that documentary, but also Miami's winning 10-3.
I don't care.
Oh, I'm so drunk. I'm like, Bob the Hat drug guy documentary.
Shit. God damn it. Spit my fucking wine. Fuck.
I've
never over my glasses.
Bob and the Monster is what it's called. Bob Forrest.
Wine all over me. T-Bird is taken hostage by Eric in the back of T-Bird's car. He says a line in the flashback, but also when he's about to die. And it's kind of important.
Mm-hmm.
He says,
Abashed the devil stood and felt how awful goodness is.
abashed the devil stood and felt how awful goodness is. And it's important. It's from Milton's Paradise Lost, which I think you read in college. I remember you like going over that.
I did.
Yeah.
But I didn't read it for college. I read it because I love the movie Seven so much.
Is that why?
And I love Morgan Freeman so much, that scene and I love a library. So when he's like all my favorite things in one scene, like a library.
Such a nerd.
A library, Morgan Freeman, a photocopier. I'm like, oh, this is heaven.
Jesus.
So I read a lot of the books that he was referencing in that scene. Basically, we all love Morgan Freeman.
Who doesn't? I don't want to know.
If you don't like him, this is not the podcast for you to go fuck off.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it's from Paradise Lost, and the line is actually, okay, so it's abashed the devil stood and felt how awful goodness is. And it's followed by, he doesn't say it in the movie, but it's actually followed by, and saw virtue in her shape, how lovely, and pined his loss. Okay, so, ready to get your mind blown out your asshole.
Yeah, is it Tuesday?
So he says it, and the second time he says it, he's like panicking, and he kind of realizes what it means. That when someone fallen from grace actually sees something pure and good, it makes them recognize their own depravity, and they just despair in that understanding. And David Patrick Kelly, who plays T-Bird, he only needed to know that one line, but he loved it so much, and he's kind of a method actor, and he memorized the entire passage. You haven't even like attacked this movie like at all.
I have. I've attacked littering, and
You're like,
no. You keep bringing up these parts that are like that are really meaningful.
Yeah, what's up?
But they're kind of buried in the movie. They're not like stand out.
Yeah, who understands subtext now, motherfucker?
No, I mean the writing is really good in this movie, but it's kind of buried under a lot of nonsense.
Nonsense.
Yeah, a lot of
You mean
like
awesome?
no, like it's just a lot of flashy silliness.
Yeah, I love it
Okay.
so much.
All
It
right,
was the
well.
90s. Flashy silliness was all the rage.
That would be your band name.
Flashy silliness?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's a lot of syllables for me.
Flashy silliness 5. Fuck that. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. 2 syllables.
Eric tapes T-Bird into his car and then with a bomb and then sends him exploding into the pier.
I hope that this wasn't in the script. There's a part where the cops rush in to where Eric Draven is.
Yeah.
When one of the cops rushes in, do you know what he says? This is a quote.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote.
What?
No, I have it in quotes. That's all she wrote.
I hope that was an ad lib.
That's what I said. I hope that wasn't in the script.
Okay, so Sarah awakes to Darla making breakfast.
And guess what, people? Darla's still not a great mom. Darla still sucks.
She's making eggs.
You know what that scene reminded me of?
Huh.
This is so bad. It kept reminding me of the sloppy egg scene from Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. When she's like, I don't even remember how you like your eggs. I don't even remember. The kid's like 8 years old. Like, you don't remember how she likes. She's not 30. You better not go make them sloppy eggs.
Sloppy eggs. You want to live to see tomorrow.
I said, if you want to live to see tomorrow, you better start frying them eggs a little bit better than what you're frying. And I'm tired of eating sloppy, slimy eggs.
Do you think Brandon Lee was like, they were like, he's like, I want $20 million. And like, yeah, no. And he's like, okay, I'll take $4 million and 12 guitar solos.
Oh, I hope so.
I hope so too. Look at, you're holding on to the
I
table
know.
again.
I'm so afraid I'm gonna like slip off my seat or like I'm gonna fall.
Slip off your what?
Regular adult seat.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing
That's
weird.
all she wrote.
Okay, so this is important.
Okay.
You can tell by my inflection.
You're like Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Buckle the fuck up.
Let me hold on to the table. Apparently that's what we got to do around here. Hold on to my wine glass.
I'm doing what I can. Okay, so the baddies are having a big baddie meeting. And you can tell they're bad because the table is filled with money and guns and probably coke. Yeah.
Coke.
Yeah. Did you hold up the letter C?
Yeah.
I thought that was C. I thought C was for cookie.
It was like
Is cookie
Sesame
slang
Street
for coke?
C. Oh. Okay.
That reminds me of a Family Guy episode where Cookie Monster's in rehab. And they find a plate of cookies under his bed. And they're like, where did these come from? And he's like, I don't know. Okay, so let's keep talking about the big baddie meeting.
Okay.
Because this is that scene that everybody thought was like where Brandon was killed.
No, my mind is blown. That's 100% where
Isn't
I thought
that
that
wild?
happened. Yeah.
I thought for sure, but no, it wasn't.
I thought for sure we would never say anything in any of these podcasts that was interesting.
Yeah, and here we are.
I know. I'm fucking mind blown.
Riddled with interesting content. Well, Eric shows up at this big baddie meeting because he wants to kill them, and also specifically Skank. They talk about Devil's Night a lot here, and I really want to mention that it is a real thing, and it dates back to the 1940s. But there was an especially bad one in Detroit in 1994, and it has to be related to the Crow. It doesn't say anything about that, but like from what I've researched, but it has to be because the Crow came out in May, and Devil's Night is the day before Halloween, yeah. So it's a big deal. It actually, there was like a really brutal night in Devil's Night in 1984, and the mayor promised the residents that it was going to go away, and then they organized the Angels Night.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Around to like kind of combat it, and it actually worked. They came up with an Angels Night, and it actually worked.
I feel like people were not really into it if that worked.
No, it was definitely into it. Like the volunteers like kept like a super high profile, and they were patrolling neighborhoods. And they were like, they were using like CB radios and like cell phones, which was kind of a big deal then because that wasn't really. I mean, you remember you had a bag phone.
Okay, do you remember? This is
gather around, children.
This is completely unrelated. Do you remember Ty telling you telling the story about the job that he had where he made like the calling cards for the CB radio people?
No.
What?
No.
No, Ty, he's like, he says it's his only paying job as an artist. He did, so like when people back in the day,
Wait, can you say that is incredible because I'm just going to say Ty is an incredible artist.
he is, but fuck, I wish he was around here so he could,
No, God, this would go so far off the rails.
I know, but he would, like, people who did like this CB radio stuff, they would have calling cards. So he would do like little caricatures, and it would be like widows, railroad.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did caricatures.
You're kidding.
No. I'm
Be damned.
Which is another, Ty has had every fucking job known to mankind.
Well, let's get back to the crow. Eric is killing everybody. And Mika is trying to capture the crow because she realizes the bird is the way to defeating Eric.
What a bitch.
I know. She's crazy old Maurice. He kills Skake and he thinks his vengeance is over and he returns to the cemetery to cross back over. But through the crow's eyes, he sees the baddies have kidnapped Sarah.
What an asshole. I keep flipping my notes as if I'm going to find more notes on the back page. And I'm like, I literally have like 2 more lines left of notes.
Okay, so this is not going to translate well at all. But can I just show you? Because again, shockingly, there was some alcohol involved while I was writing my notes. Look at my spelling. It's Maudie.
Because it's donkey. That you don't know how to spell unfortunately?
I was drunk at the time.
Don't you have spell check?
Yeah, that's why it's underlined in red.
But you're like, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to leave it.
I know what I was trying to say.
Maudie.
It's very Maudie and gothic. But it was very Maudie and gothic and cool. It was the 90s. Okay. They take Sarah to an abandoned church.
Dude, what's a church?
You know, it's where what happens when you go to church? You get churched. They take Sarah to an abandoned church because it's Maudie, gothic and cool. And it was the 90s.
I said, who are you going to call? Ernie arrives.
Well, Eric goes there. And it's going to be fine, but they shoot his bird because fucking Mika has that figured out. And then Top Dollar does a great impression.
Quick impression for you. Caw, bang, fuck, I'm dead.
I have creepy sister steals the crow. What a bitch. And then
I'm feeling very attacked right now.
I have one last creepy kiss for the road.
Yeah, they do.
That's my last note.
Ew.
So
icky.
go ahead and bring this home.
All right. Well, unfortunately, without the bird, Eric is vulnerable, and they find it out, and Ernie Cop is almost killed, and they end up on the roof where Top Dollar has the upper hand, and he's about to kill Eric, but then Eric puts his hands on Top Dollar like he's a televangelist.
And like he's taking him to church.
He transfers. This is the worst possible time to be laughing hysterically because I'm like, he transfers the memories of Shelley's excruciating pain.
It's so funny.
Of 30 hours fighting for life, which debilitates Top Dollar long enough for Eric to chuck him off the roof and onto a gargoyle.
Which, okay, I'm just freeballing here.
Ew.
No, that's dumb.
What?
Because Top Dollar doesn't give a shit about anyone, and yet we're supposed to believe he's going to be traumatized by the idea of somebody getting murdered and tortured.
I think he actually makes him physically feel her pain.
His sister, who he bangs all the time, cuts people's eyeballs out.
Yeah.
Like, that's...
But he's not feeling the eyeballs get cut out. See this? Eyeballs get cut out.
Yeah, no, this is a super realistic movie, but that really, that's just a bridge too far for me.
He's feeling her pain.
He doesn't feel things.
Well,
because of all the coke.
His teeth, his gums may be numb, but he is feeling her pain, and it's long enough for him to be distracted, and he gets chucked off, and he falls onto a gargoyle, and then Shelley's spirit shows up and leads Eric away to the other side, and our movie is over. It can't rain all the time, folks.
And then Sarah goes home with her shitty mom and her shitty eggs.
No, the movie's over. You don't have to attack it anymore.
Oh. I love this movie.
Oh, so good.
I feel like I had some good points, though.
Did you?
Yeah, littering.
Littering.
No, I think,
This was a very difficult movie
this
to
was
attack.
a tough one. This was a tough one. I think that it is difficult for me to watch it and not think about the fact that Brandon Lee's dead.
Yeah.
Which isn't the movie's fault. But I do think that some of the great, this is going to sound silly, but I think some of the great writing in this movie is kind of wasted because there was so much, just because of the theme of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, there's great writing in this, but unless you really pay attention, it's kind of overlooked, like the poem. And there's a part, I wrote it down, but I wasn't going to say it earlier because I was shitting on the movie. But there's a part where Top Dollar, he's like, I think it was when the pawn shop guy,
Yeah.
he said something like and he just winked at me, and he's like, winked at you, musicians.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like all of those little one-liners that if you're not paying attention are lost. You know what was so funny is when I was doing my notes and Ty said, which one are you doing? And it was like The Crow. And he goes, what are you going to do about that? And I'm like, this is tough. And then, like, as I'm watching it, he goes, well, don't you think it's kind of weird that his shirt's off all the time?
No.
Like, do you think it's weird, Ty?
You're like, no, that's why this is difficult for me to attack it.
He's like, you could probably say something negative about that, right? I'm like, no.
No. No. As a matter of fact, no.
I think you could have something negative to say about that.
Well, speaking of which, maybe other people have something negative to say about this. I can't imagine.
I think they could have something negative to say about it, but I think it might be about you and I.
Probably.
The feedback's all going to be about these drunk bitches.
Yeah, that would last too much. And that one's shrill. That one sounds nasally. Anyway.
Her crime scene
Joe
voice
Rogan.
is ridiculous. Did you say Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Science schmience.
Well, how about this? If there's anybody that does not like this movie, tell us why. And we're going to laugh at you. But we'll
we won't record it, though.
No.
Or sometimes, like later on when we're on a podcast and we're laughing about something, we're going to be laughing at you.
Yeah.
But we're not going to say it.
But definitely share your opinions.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And
We value it.
And
highly.
your name and phone number.
Yeah. Yeah. And blood type. Well, that was a blast. It was great for me. I had a very easy job.
It was tough.
I've got like a third of my wine left, so I'm going to clock out here and then go drink that.
Me too.
Oh, shit. You got a lot.
I know.
God damn. I feel like you're letting Brandon Lee down.
No, but it's just the last one we recorded when I heard so many words I couldn't say.
Ooh.
I was like,
That didn't keep me from getting sloshed.
I know, some of us learn.
Well, this was fun, and I appreciate and I value you. I value your friendship.
You'll always be my crow.
Aww. Well, bye, Katrina Porter.
Bye, Anna Serene.
Bye everyone.